Welcome to the Workshop Therapy Podcast and 5 Minute Monday. I'm going to start with a little bit of a Patreon plug because our next guest, you're definitely going to want to be in on the pre-show and the post-show, which will come out as a single podcast audio file through Patreon. If you can't support the podcast financially, I totally understand, but I would appreciate it if you share the show or even make a review on the podcasting review system of your choice. Mostly Apple, I think, is the only one that actually matters as far as the reviews go, but I don't know. Anyway, on with the show. Today's going to be a little bit different because I am trying something new. As requested by a few of the listeners, these 5 Minute Mondays, they come across as a little scripted, which of course they are because I want to make sure that I get across the information that I want to get across. Today, I'm going to try to just kind of wing it a little bit. I do have some notes and I do have some specific outcomes that I want to tell you, but it's going to be kind of off the cuff. So here we go. In the last podcast, I made a comment about time management. I said, if you don't control your time, somebody else will. And it's true. Here's my problem. I've always been kind of anti-schedule. I hate schedules. I hate being required to be somewhere at a certain time. However, here's the caveat. And this is what I've learned, especially as I have been through 11, going on 12 years of post-secondary education now. I've managed other businesses. I've managed my own business. I've started 2 different clinics. I've consulted for some industrial clients doing injury prevention things. And I've discovered over this course of time that a schedule isn't a constraint on you. It's a tool to help you organize yourself and control your time. If you look at a schedule as a shackle, as 8 o'clock I have to be here, 9 o'clock I have to be there, 10 o'clock I have this meeting, if you're looking at it as a shackle, it becomes a burden upon you. However, if you look at it as a tool to manage your time, to put first things first, to prioritize the most important thing in your day, if that's on your schedule, then it becomes a tool to free up your time. I'm sure we've all had those experiences where we end up walking into our shops, walking into our studio, wherever, walking into work, and you end up talking to somebody about something meaningless, or you end up doom scrolling on your phone, or you end up doing something that's not necessarily important at the time, and afterwards you feel like you just wasted your time, and you did, because something else took control of your time. So a schedule is a way that you can assess your day, look at the start, look at the end, and then plot out a path through that gives you the most effective use of your time throughout the day, allowing you to not only be productive, but also take the time that you need to create space for your mental health. I don't know how many times I've heard throughout the course of my career so far, people saying something to the effect of, I don't have time to do X. Whether that be a self-care exercise thing or a mental health self-care, like my journaling or my creative writing or my art or my wood shop time. The reality of it is, what we end up doing is we end up taking on empty tasks, as it were. We end up doing the doom scrolling thing on the social media, or we end up taking on a job at work that we maybe didn't have time to do, but we felt pressured in doing so. Whereas if we have time scheduled, we can say, look, it won't fit into my schedule right now. I'd be happy to do it later. That job can get pushed off. Or when an opportunity comes along, instead of the schedule being a shackle, the schedule can be altered to fit in something that is of greater importance to you. As with any other goal setting or productivity thing, it is important to factor in the self-care aspect of it. Diets often fail because people want to eat a cheeseburger and they want to eat that ice cream cone. And so what happens is you're on this strict diet of whatever it is, and you go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever it is, and then you crash because you really want the hamburger or you really want the ice cream bar, whatever it is. And then you feel bad about yourself and you go, oh no, I've lost it, and then you quit the diet. Healthcare, mental health care is the same. What happens is we're on a roll, we're feeling better, we're feeling more productive, we're feeling less depressed, whatever it is that we're working on, And then we get that day where we hit a downer and then we lose it. What we need to do with our schedule is we need to schedule in those breaks and understand that that isn't a waste of time. That is actually a way for you to take a little bit more time for yourself and to be a little bit more productive, because you're refreshing your mind, you're building in a little bit more mental resiliency, and things will go better for you. So when it comes to workshop therapy, even if you take that 5 minutes and you go to your shop, you go to your creative studio, whatever you want to call it, and you pick up some garbage off the ground. There's always something to pick up. There's always something to clean up in a shop. There's always something to put away that didn't get put away last time. Unless, of course, your hobby is cleaning your shop, then I guess maybe this isn't the advice for you. But for those of us normal people, there's always a little bit of cleanup to do. And you'll find that if you schedule that 5 minutes, I'm going to go out to my shop every day for 5 minutes, and you take that time, then it will help reset your day, because you had the time, you had the moment where you did something for you. No, don't feel shackled by a schedule. I still fight with this myself. I'm definitely not preaching from some sort of pulpit saying, oh, you should follow my example. This is something I'm working with myself, but it's also something that's very important. And if you look through the research, you look through the productivity books, a schedule is a way of managing your time. And if you don't take the choice to manage your time, somebody else will. And if you want to be in control of your life, if you want to be happier, healthier, whatever it is, it's taking that time and managing the time so nobody else takes it. I hope that was a helpful podcast. If it was, why don't you share it with somebody within 24 hours? That will help reinforce it in your mind, and it will also help somebody else be a little bit better. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to sharing with you the next guest. It's going to be great, and I really appreciate him for being on, and it was a great conversation. So again, that little bit of a plug for Patreon. If you want to get the pre-show and post-show, sign up on the $5 a month level, and that will get you that. And yeah, I appreciate it again. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I just want to say thank you to the founding members of the Workshop Therapy Patreon family: Eric of Overall Makerworks, Keith Drennan of Blackthorn Concepts, Brad of Brad's Customs, Matthew Serio from Arciano Serio, and The Grant Alexander. If you want to join on Patreon to support the show or just say thank you, I'd appreciate it.